Okay, so now we are recording. I'm again muting you all. So, so in case like if um, there's some the slides. Okay, will you send the slides? The slides are already uploaded on LMS. So all you have to do is access it using LMS. Uh, uh, I asked um, the IT. I I asked IT to merge the two sites together. So now all the people like from both the sections are merged into one site. So you can all of you should be able to access um, the content and
Mohsen,
um, okay. I should not allow you guys to unmute yourselves because now it has become annoying. What? Mute all. Yes. Okay. Oh, okay. So I have been notified like some people are using the same screen to attend the lectures. Um, so okay, so I should start the lecture from now. Uh, okay, so this is the lecture number 2, and we are going to look into the command line arguments. I'm okay. Let me open the chat window as well, so that I know what is going on. Where is the chat window? Tut, 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 tut. And move chat. Okay. Uh, I'll put it to the side right here. No, this won't work. So let me just put it here. Okay, so we are going to go into the command line argument. So what that actually means. So let's start. So last time we wrote a program and we wrote Java C, Java compile, and we put the name of the program afterwards. So we wrote Java C, and if the name of the program was myprogram.java, we used to write Java C myprogram.java. And that used to compile the code. And afterwards, if the path is set properly, we can write Java my program and it will run the program. So what happens is that when you write Java one program, so the processing starts and the computer does its processing, and whatever the lines of code there are is it's going to run those lines of code. And whenever you so suppose we had written a line of code which said hello. So you write my Java my program, and hello will be the output in that case. Um, so what command line argument does is that you are able to give some input to the program itself. So you write Java my program and you give the name of you give any name or give anything. So you write Java my program and you write Umair. It again it does processing, and now instead of saying hello, it says hello Umair. Okay, so this is the kind of thing which happens in command line arguments. Like like if you want to give a certain input, you can write you can tell the program to use those kind of input. Okay, and the program behaves accordingly. So it all depends on how you have given the inputs for that program. So how the code is executed is that if you remember, I was in the class. I said that every every program that you write, every class that you create, it has a main function. So the main function is where all the execution starts. So normally it's a public static void main. Okay, that's what written over here. But it's to make things clear. Uh, to make things clear, we write main over here. There's the name of the function, and within the braces, whatever the code is, it is executed. So the main function always run first, and and anything within these braces is executed. Okay. So normally when you write the main function, you put these parentheses and you write string and these square brackets and args. So arg stands for arguments. Any extra information that is passed is stored as a collection of characters. Okay. So if you pass any information extra, so in the example previously, I wrote. Okay, so I'll get back to your questions. So in any program, you pass arguments over here, and these arguments are stored as argument 0, 1, 2, 3, and as many arguments you pass. So if you write like in the previous example, I had written my program and I had written Umair. So the Umair will go into argument 0. And if I write Umair and space, and I suppose I write Jamal, so Umair will go into argument 0 and Jamal will go into argument 1. And suppose if I write Umair, Jamal, and suppose Zuhaib, so the first Umair will go into argument 0, Jamal will go into arguments 1, and Zuhaib will go into arguments 2. So the first question is you just input in parameters and the input gets manipulated. Yes. So these are called parameters, like over here. Whatever you pass over here, this is called a parameter. So it's called a parameter because when you try to run a math function, you have to pass in some parameters, and the math function works on those parameters, right? So, so the same concept goes over here, that whatever input you give the input over here as parameter, and this function it runs, it executes those parameters. Now the other question is, sir, in Java functions are called methods or not? Yes, in Java functions are called method. The thing is like there are so many programming languages. So when I say function, it actually means method, and when I say method, it actually means function. So in some languages they are called functions, in some languages they are called methods, in some languages they are called procedures. More or less the same, mean the same thing. So you can, so when you are reading the book, you might come across a function, so that means a method. If you might come across a method, again that means a function, and you might come across a procedure, again that is a method. So this is how the Java code works and how the Java parameters work. So now we go directly to the code review, and how I'm going to do this is I'm going to write the code directly on screen so that you guys can follow easily. So first of all, I'll go into the this uh, my Explorer. You guys can see this, right? My Explorer window. Okay, great. So I'll show you like how normally uh, I create a Java file. So this is sort of like a tutorial, and also like if some people did not get it the first time, so they might get it this time. So first of all, what you do is you right click and you go to new, and you go for a text document. Okay, so the icon over here might be different because it is showing me the notepad plus plus icon over here, but you might see some other icon over here, and also like there might be some other options given over here. So my option might be different than your options. The whole point is uh, the whole point is that you have to select text document. That's it. Okay, so you go to new and you select text document. One more thing, in view, you have this file name extensions option over here. So if you just look at this over here, it says greetings. If I click on this, it says only greetings. I don't know if this is a text file or if this is a doc file or if this is a Java file. So when you turn this on, you can see like the extension for those files. And this is important because once you are creating a Java file, unless you turn this thing on, you will not be able to um, uh, see if the file is text or Java file. So let me show you like what I mean. I turn this off and I see this greetings file. I right click and I go to new. Click on text document. It says new text document. So your instinct will be that you will write, suppose, test 01 dot Java. Now, in your mind, you have created a Java file, but that is not the case. So if you turn this on, you can see it's actually java test01.java.txt. So it's actually a text file. It's not a Java file. Okay, so sometimes you make this mistake and then you are like scratching your head why it is not working. And the reason is that you have been working like this, and you thought that you created a Java file, but instead you created a text file, and the name of the text file was test01.java. So so how you can fix this is you click here, you see the extension. Now you can just select the file, wait 2 or 3 seconds, then click on it again, then it will give you the option to rename. Another way of doing this is like you select the file, you right click on it, and then you should have a rename option. You click on this, and again you have the rename option. So you just delete everything, and I call it, let's call it hello.java. And this will now ask me that if you change a file name extension, the file might become unusable. Are you sure you want to change it? So this file was initially empty. It had nothing, no data in it. So even if I change this, change it from text to Java, since it had no data, so it will still stay usable. Okay, so it's just warning me like this might happen. So you can just ignore this warning and just press yes. So now hello.java has been created. Now when I double click on this file, it will open in the VS Code. What you can do is you can right click on it and edit with Node. If you have Notepad++ installed, you can install that. Or if you have VS Code installed, you can open with code. Or you can just open it with Notepad. Um, I recommend that you use VS Code. Notepad++ is also great, but you can also use VS Code because we are going to go for VS Code in the future. Yes, you can use Atom if you want. That's your preference. I will be using VS Code. So if you like Atom, you can go with that. Uh, just so that everybody stays on the same page. So I just recommend that you use VS Code, but it's your choice. I'm not going to force you into using any one of these editors. So I will open with VS Code, and when I do this, so the file is created, and I get the line number 1, and there's nothing in the file. Okay, because I haven't created anything. So so we know that whenever we write a program in Java, we first of all need to create a class. So the class needs to be public. So I write public, and I write class, and I give it the name hello. Hello is the name because the name of the file is hello.java. So I give it the same name. And once I do this, I press enter, and then I open the braces, and the closing braces come by themselves. So I enter this, and now I have created the class. So now whatever I write in here, that will be the part of the class. So as I said, every class, it starts with the main function. So I start with the main function. So for that, I will write again public because the function is public. The main function is always static, so public static. So why it is static? Again, this is static is used so that I do not need to create the object of this class. What is an object? That's a long debate. So we'll just not go into that. Just for the timing, just write public static, and we write void because we want to say that the function is not going to return any value. That's why we are writing void, and then I just write main. Okay, so so this main function comes with a lot of baggage. Unfortunately, for now, you have to write it as it is. There's no way around it. And then you can write the brackets. You get these brackets, and you press enter, and you then you create the braces for the main function. Now, some of you might be thinking like, where is the string arguments? So you can write string, and you write the brackets, and you write arguments. Okay, so now you might be confused like what these brackets are for. Okay, so these brackets are for an array. Now, then you will ask what is an array. So I'll explain it to you this way. So suppose I remove this. I just write public static void main and string args. This is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with this. Uh, so what this means is that I have a string which is called args, and the string will contain some value. Okay, so it will contain only one value. Okay, so this is what is going to happen. So if I pass it multiple values, it's only going to take it as one value. Okay, so because I'm passing all the arguments as one string value. So suppose if I write Umair and then I write Jamal, so it will take Umair and Jamal as a single string. It will not take them as separate string values. Uh, but on the other hand, if I put these brackets over here, so what this means is that now this is an array. So the first location is arguments 0. And if I pass Umair, then it will contain the value Umair. And then if I pass Jamal as well, like I write hello Umair and Jamal, then it will have, then there will be a second argument which will have the location 1, and that argument will contain the value Jamal. And similarly, if I write Umair, Jamal, and Zuhaib, so there will be third value, third index value, and it will have the value Zuhaib. Okay, so once you write this, so it actually distributes this string into multiple strings. So whatever you pass over here, like you write hello, Umair, so that's only one string value, so it will use only this value. Then if you write hello Umair Jamal, so it will use these two values. If you write hello Umair Jamal Zuhaib, so it's going to use all these three values. Okay, and so on. So it will keep on increasing. You can go for 11, 12, 23, 44. So it will keep track of all those values. Okay, so that is the reason why we put these brackets over here. Okay, so all these, so the main function will run. We can pass it some arguments, and we can use those arguments. So I delete this, and now I want this program to output something. So I write system dot out. So I'm telling the system to output what? Uh, Print line. So it has to print line, and I write hello. Okay. So I write hello. So you can see like I've just written hello. I'm not using these arguments. So once I run this program, it will just say hello. So another important thing is that once you write something like this, you just press Control S, or you go to File and you click on Save. Same thing, Control S. Okay. Okay. So are you guys following till now? Any questions till now? Like I think it's pretty easy. Oh, I missed something. There is no. You can write print. You can write print and println. So, so let me show you like what will happen. I'll explain. Like if you write system.out.print, suppose, and so it will do. It will write on the screen hello. Now suppose after this, if you write another line and you write this and you write Umair. Okay, so then the output will be hello Umair. Okay, so this will be the output, and there will be no line over here. Okay, so once you write print ln, so right after hello, it will automatically put an enter, and then if I write system.out.print, so then it will write Umair. Now suppose after this, if I write system.out.print Umair, and then I write uh, say Yuma. Okay, so then it will say Umair Yuma, because I use system.out.println. So because of println, it printed a line. Then I automatically put an enter over here. Then I wrote print instead of print line, so it wrote Umair. And then since there was print no print line, so there wasn't an enter. And then I wrote system.out print Yuma, so it wrote Umer Yuma. So if I want to fix that, I will write print ln, and then it will automatically put an enter over here, so it will become Yuma. Uh, so the question is, can we use slash n? Yes, we can use slash n. Can we use slash t? Yes, we can use slash t. Okay, so I will come across that. Don't worry. Okay, this class is will cover those parts. Okay, so don't worry about it. Uh, why did you uh, left the arguments blank? Uh, what this means is that if I remove this, so it means it's accepting no arguments. If I put this, so this means it may accept some arguments. So I might put it over here, but I don't pass anything to this function. So then this will contain nothing. Okay. But if I write this and pass some argument, I can use that argument. I will show you like what I mean. So I delete this, and for simplicity, I make it like this. Okay. So I save this over here and I go back to the simple part. Okay, so it's in C, Java, Hello Java. So this is where in C, Java, Hello Java, this is where my file is. So I go to, uh, I first of all do this. I go to search. I type CMD for command. I open the command line. Okay, and I go to CD. You can do if you want to jump directly to in the same drive. If you want to jump from one directory to another, you can just write cd/java. So you go directly to that place. Otherwise, you can do cd dot dot. You come out and you go one step back if you do cd dot dot. So suppose I was in cd users and then I was cd Umer. So if I want to go one step back, I can write cd dot dot. I go one step back. And if I write cd Umer, and if I want to jump all the way back, I can write cd slash. I go all the way back. Okay. And if I am in cd Umer, sorry, cd users slash Umer, so then I can go jump directly over there. And if I want to switch directly from here to another directory, so I can write cd slash Java. So I jump to the same directory to another directory within the same directory. CD stands for change directory. So I write it over here, change directory. Okay. So it's short form for change directory. So so this is, you can see like the command prompt is faster because I can just type and jump directly if I know my stuff. But again, when you're typing, you are bound to make mistakes. So that is why the user interface is preferable in those scenarios. But normally the hardcore programmers, they prefer the command line interface. Okay. So now if I use dir, which means directory, it means like I want to see what is in the directory. I enter and I can see like there's a greetings.java over here and there is a hello.java over here. And this 122, it's telling me like how many bytes I'm using. Okay, so it's only 122 bytes. It's not even a 1 megabyte. Okay, so the file is very, very small. You are using forward slash. It should be backslash. Okay, and it has nothing to do with Java. Okay, uh, so these are the command prompt commands. It has nothing to do with Java. Okay, so if Java isn't working, so that might be a path issue. I will be sharing the tutorials to setting up the path. There are a lot of tutorials which are available online. You can just follow those tutorials and it will be done. Um, okay, so now I try to compile Java C and I want to compile hello. So I can write HE and then just press tab. Okay, so once I press tab, the computer is smart enough to say, okay, which is the file which is starting with HE. And I can, if I just press tab, it enters the entirety of the name of the file over there. Okay, so this is a shortcut by which you can quickly go there. Uh, okay, so if you want to change control, if you want to change directly to another directory, you can just write the name of the directory, which is E in this case, and you press E colon. And when you press enter, uh, you will jump directly from C drive to E drive or D drive or G drive or H drive, whatever drive there is. Okay, now compiling again, hello dot Java. So it compiles and it has compiled the code and it did not show me any error. So if I write dir, I can see that hello.class has been created and it has its own number of bytes. You can see that number of bytes has increased. Why this has happened? So why this happens is because the Java, it adds some extra layer on top of whatever you are writing, and that's why it has a more it requires more space. So the question is, why do we need to compile Java? Because the Python it works in an interpreter, so you sort of like working with it in the compiler itself. But Java doesn't work that way. It works differently, so you always have to compile. Um, it doesn't work with an interpreter. You always have to create a file, and you always have to uh, run the file over there. Python does not work that way. So every language has its own benefits and its own issues. Okay. So why does Java add another layer? It adds another layer because once I compile the code, this code can work on either Microsoft Windows, on Mac OS, on Linux. So I can just compile this code once, and it will run on all the other files, all other operating systems. Okay, so what this means is that um, suppose you have an Apple application on your iPhone, so why doesn't that work on your Android phone? And the reason is that they haven't coded that in Java, and as a result, it does not work on the Android phone. But hello.class is not used as a compiler; it's a compiled file, and that is what is run. Okay, once you actually execute the code. So now we have compiled the file that we created, and I write Java. I ask Java to run hello, and now it is giving me error. It's giving me error because again, like you guys, you might be getting this the same error, and that is because the path has not been set. So if you come across this error, what you do is you first of all open your Windows Explorer. So I minimize this. So you open the Windows Explorer and you go for what? सर मुझे नहीं मिला क्या नहीं मिला मुझे नहीं पता क्या बात कर they are of no use as we can easiest path. I don't get what Kundan means. I got the answer. Okay, Mirza got the answer, and Kundan said sorry. Okay, so, so whatever is going on in the chat, I have no idea what is happening over there. So I'll just move on with this. So for me, it's the local C drive, and over here I go to program files, and then I go to Java, and over here I have JDK 1402 installed. You might have JDK 15 installed. It's the same thing, doesn't matter. I also have GRE installed, so you can install both of them. Main thing is JDK. You click on JDK and you click on bin. Now, once you get over here, you click here and you get the entire path over here. So program files, Java, JDK 1402 and bin. So you press Control C, Control and C. So it will copy this path. Okay. Now press Alt Tab. You go to command prompt over here and you write set path and then equal to, and then you press Control V. V for van, V for very good. So you press Control V and it will paste the path and you press enter. So the path is now set and I again I press up and I come across my previous command. So I did Java C hello.java. I compile it again. It's compiled, and then I write Java hello. So it says hello. Okay. So now once the path has been set, it is compiled again. And then if I want to run the file, I write Java hello, and I will get hello in that case. So the thing is like we we see the code over here. Okay. And uh, why do we need to set the path? What happens is that when the what happens is that even when the Java is compiled, okay, so uh, computer always needs to know where Java is installed before it can run a Java file. So once you install Java Development Kit, it's not the native application for Windows. So the Windows does not know like this file like when I write the command, so it does not understand that command. Okay, so once I tell it to run the Java file, it does not understand where Java is installed, and it runs into a problem. So you set the path to tell the Windows okay, Java installed over here, and now the Java is a valid command, and that's why it starts to run the file. Okay, so there are tutorials by which you can set the path. I tried doing that. Even for me, it's causing problems. I tried the tutorials myself, and I tried to install myself, and you can see like I'm also running into the same problem. So the way out of it is that you set the path and then you are good to go. Uh, why I use the command for programming? As I said before, command is a faster way of doing programming. Any IDE it slows you down, but IDE has its own benefits. The thing is like you need to know about all these things. Okay, why we are doing this because you need to know that. Okay. It's like why do we need to learn how to add two numbers together when you can use a calculator? Okay, so it's something like that कि आप calculator से सब कुछ कर सकते हैं तो आपको सीखने की क्या जरूरत है? Okay, so you have to learn this, and then we can move on to some other program, IntelliJ or some other program. So we can do that in later. Currently, we are going to use the CMD command line interface. Okay. Other question is after compile, I change the location of .class file only, or if I delete the .java file altogether, will the program still run with only .class file? So for Mohammed Hoor's question, you can try it and see what happens. Okay. So do we need to set the path each time we try running a Java program in CMD? Um, well, if your path is not set and if you close the CMD once, if you close like right now, I have set the path in CMD. And if I close this, then the next time I will open it, I will need to set the path. So try not to close it while you're working in Java. Okay. Okay. So now we move on towards like what is happening over here. So I wrote Java C hello.java. So it will actually compile this code. Okay. And as I said before, what this code does is whatever is within these braces, the code will run, the program will run whatever is in within these braces. So in this program, I wrote in this method, I wrote system.out.println. So it's only going to print this line. So when I wrote Java hello, it just wrote hello. Okay. Uh, so because this is the line which is part of the code. Now suppose I wanted to say Java hello Omer. Okay. And so this means like this file, I want to write Java. I wrote hello, and then I write Omer. So now Java hello is required to run the code, but now Omer is a parameter. So the parameter will be passed over here. Okay. And if I press enter, it still says hello. It doesn't say anything. It accepts Omer. It's not giving me any error, but it just says hello. Okay. So so why do you think that happened? Any answers? Yes, so Hamza is right, uh, and Hassan is also right. So why this happened is that because over here I've written system.println hello only. I am not using the arguments. So when I wrote Java hello Umair, this variable, this arguments, it actually accepted the value Umair in args0, in args0 location index, but I'm not using args0 anywhere over here. Okay. So in order to use this arg0, I just do this. I just copy this again, and I write instead of hello, I write args0. Okay. So I read this. I save this again, and now since I made changes to the code, I will need to recompile it. Okay, because the class file needs to change. So I write java c hello.java, and now I write java hello Omer. So it says hello Omer. Okay, because I pass an argument, I'm using that argument. Now some of you might say like the problem, why is it coming in the next line? So so what I can do is I can make it print ln. I can just make it print. I save this and I run this code again. Java C hello. Then I write Java hello Omer, and you can see that it's not in the one in the same line, but there's no space. Okay, so in order to fix that, what I can do is I write hello, I give a space over here, I save it again, I recompile it, and then I write hello man, and now that we have a space over there. So this way you can see like I can make changes to the code. Another way of doing the same thing is I cut this out from here. Okay, I remove this line and I write hello, and then I add to hello whatever the argument was. Can you write Umair inside server inserted commas? Yes, as far as know, I know you can. Okay. Um, but that's something like if you run into that, you can always try those things out. I don't remember each and everything, so the best thing is like if you have a question, just try it out. So that's the great thing. You get an error and you will be like scratching your head like why you got that error. Okay, and then you will find it out. Okay, so okay, so what is yes, you have to compile again after every little change. In the beginning, it will be annoying, but as you move forward, you will need to compile less and less and less and less. Okay. So right now it might seem annoying, but you can see over here. So you can just click on run and it will run it for you. I'm not using that. Okay. I'm not using this option because I want to work with the command line for now, because we will be working with different inputs and we will be giving the input through command line, because this way we can give a textual input when we are using command line. There are other ways of getting input in Java as well. We will come across that, but not at the moment. So anyway, I write this, I press save, and then I compile it again, java c hello.java, and then I write java hello man, and again I get the same output because I'm using hello and 0. Now suppose I write hello Umair and then I write say Hamza, and now I won't get an error. I don't think I will get an error. Yes, I did not get an error. So what has happened now is that I write hello Umair, so it saved the value 0 in argument 0 it saved the value Umair, and in arguments 1 it saved the value Hamza. Okay. Uh, but I'm not using the arguments one over here. So I can do that by writing args and then writing one. So now it will say hello Umair Hamza. there's no space over here. So it will write Umair and Hamza together. Hello, Umair Hamza. Okay. So let's save this again. I'll save it and I compile this code again. Um, and then I write Umair Hamza and it says hello Umair Hamza. Now to fix this issue, I can always add a space and then I can add this. So now it's going to be hello space, then it will say Umair, then space, then it will say Hamza. So I save it again and I compile it again. And now if I write Umair Hamza, it write hello Umair Hamza. Okay. So this way you can manipulate the arguments. Now another thing that can happen is that you write hello Umair, like you write Java hello Umair. I don't write Hamza. And if I press enter, so now you can see I'm getting an error. Okay. So why do you think I got an error? So okay, all of you are correct. So you can see like again those who did not get it, you can see like you have written hello, you have written args 0, which is fine because you wrote Umair. So Umair will go into args 0. Then you gave a space, you are using args 1. So it's expecting that there should be a value in args 1, but there isn't any value because we just wrote hello Umair. We did not write Umair, hello Umair, Hamza or some other value. So it tries to print this, but since this has no value, it says, oh, I'm not finding any value. This is an error. And it says that this is an error. It gives you, say, it says array index out of bounds. Okay. Uh, so, what this means is that this is an array and it has, since I passed it only Umair, it has only one index. So in this case, the index is 0. It does not have two indices. So it has 0. It does not have 1, but I'm asking it to print two indices. So that's where it is going wrong. It is an array of one index, but I'm asking it to print two indices. So it prints, it comes over here, tries to print the line, but this is where it gets an error. So that is why it's saying that the index is out of bounds because the array is of length 1. So this is the length, which is 1, and I'm expecting an array of length 2, and since this is an array of length 1, it's saying that it's an array index out of bound. And you can see that it's also telling me that at hello.main hello.java 5. So this 5 means the line number. So this is 5 over here. So it's telling us like in line number 5 there's an error. So there might be 500 lines, and so if you encounter the error, so it tells you like within the 500 lines. So if it says 135, so then the problem is in line number 135. Okay, so this is why like you can just read the error, and making errors is actually a good learning experience, because once you come across these errors, you can know exactly what is going on. Okay, so sometimes students, what they do is they just study the code, they don't study the errors themselves. So once they go into a programming quiz or a lab or an exam, they come across these errors, but since they have not encountered these errors, they don't know what is happening. Okay, so that is a mistake that students normally make. Okay. uh, okay, so that was that is how you use the indices. There are ways by which, even if you make a mistake like this, there are ways by which the Java uh, it it avoids giving you this error. So what it does is it first of all checks how many number of arguments are there, and then based on the number of arguments, it defines a length, and based on the length, it defines like how many people you are going to say hello. Okay. So this is how you write your Java program, and you write your command line arguments, and you use your command line arguments. And now we can make it much more interesting. Suppose uh, you want to write some text, and you want to say you want to write it a longer text. So you first of all you write hello, and whatever you name you pass to it. You say hello, whatever the name was, and then you add. You can just press enter. So and then you can start writing the rest of the command just to keep things interesting. Uh, yes, you can write. Normally, it's not infinite, but you can write a pretty long text. Okay. So you can write that. It's not encouraged because normally, if you want to write a lot of text, you normally put it in a file, and the computer reads from the file. But you can still write a lot of text over here if you want to. Um, so you're writing a program. Hello, whatever the name was. Uh, I have been waiting for you for a long time. Then you press plus. I think this should work. If not, we can just put it back. Uh, and then I want to open this jar, and I heard that you have a, and then I press plus and I write args1. Okay. So I write this, I close this bracket. I think this will work, but if it gives us problem of moving it to the to other lines, will just move it top side and it should work. Okay. So let's so after writing this, um, this is our program. So after writing this, I save this and I try to compile. Hopefully this will compile. If not, I will fix the errors. Okay, it has compiled. So now you can see that for this text, I've written hello, blah, 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 and whatever name you pass. And I heard that you have a, and I put arguments one over here. So this means like this program is going to accept two arguments to work properly. Okay. So I write here, I write hello, and I gave it any, suppose John, and I heard that you have a gun. Okay. So I just write this and I press enter. So it says, oh, sorry, I made a mistake. So it was Java hello, Java hello, and then I write John, and then gun. So it says, hello, John, I have been waiting for you for a long time. I want to open this jar, and I heard that you have a gun. Okay, and now you can change this. You can write hello, uh, Lisa, Lisa, and I heard that you have a wrench, and you press enter, and hello, Lisa, I have been waiting for you for a long time. I want to open this jar. I heard you have a wrench. Okay, so you can see that that uh, this makes our program a bit dynamic. Okay, so at any time you can give it any name and it will use that name properly. Okay, uh, what you can also do is instead of this you can write wrench and then you write Lisa. So now it's saying hello wrench. I have even, so you can see like the order it has changed, but but the computer does not know the difference between Lisa or wrench. Okay, so it will use whatever arguments you pass, and it will use them wherever you pass those arguments. Okay, uh, you can so you can see that this is a line, and if you want to like give you want to end the line at certain points, you can always add slash n. Slash n is used to move to the next line. So if you want to move to the next line, you can always use slash n in the text. You save this, and then you compile it again. Java C hello.java, and now you write Java hello John and gun, and you can see like now because of slash n. So it says, hello, John, I have been waiting for and slash n for you for a long time. I want to open this jar and there was slash n over here and I have heard that you have a gun. Okay, so this is how you can change this text to look some other way. Now suppose I want to create a list and I want to write the list properly. Uh, so uh, So I can write this text like this. So I can write uh, my list contains. Okay, and uh, I'm using println. So once I write this println over here. So once I write this println, so when it says my list contains, it will automatically put an enter over after this. So over here I copy this code again and I write uh, one dot space and plus arguments 0, and I copy this and I write println 2 dot arguments 1. Okay, so I changed this. So my list contains 1 is argument 0, 2 is arguments 1. Obviously this code will work if I pass it to 2 arguments. If I pass it just 1 argument, this code will not work. Okay, we already know that. So we save this again. We come here, we compile. It's compiled, and now I write Java and hello, and I write list one is suppose cat, and for two it's dog. I write this and says my list contains cat dog. Uh, what I can do is I can, yes, because if you don't write this, okay, you write it like this. So first of all, it will like notify you there's an error, there's an underlined red line that you have made some mistake. The mistake is that you have a string, it starts from here, and then it does not know what to do with this string. Okay, so what you're doing is you're joining one string to another, and you use the plus symbol for that. So you have this string, and you are joining this string to that string. Okay, and then since it's println, so you get automatic enter over here, and then you have number 2 like this. Now I can write all of this in uh, uh, I can write all of this in a single line as well. So but for that you have to think a little bit, and that's not very difficult. So I use the print command over here, and I write my list contains, and I put a slash n over here. Okay, and after slash n I write one dot space. So what will happen is that my list contains, it will give an enter over here, then it will write one dot space. Okay, uh, Atta, don't worry, it's fine. Some people are over here which know about it, but if you have any question, you can ask your questions. Okay, I will answer those questions, and I have answered those questions, so don't worry about it. So I write my list contains, I write one, so I write slash n, one dot, and there's space, uh, and and then I need to put in the first argument. So over here, I'll just move this over here. So I need to put first argument. So I write args 0, and then I am going to add to this slash n first. Because what it will do is my list contains slash n, so will move to the next line. It will write one dot space, then it's going to write an argument, and then it needs to know that it has to move towards to the next line. So I write slash n, and then I write two dot space, and then to this I will add the second argument, args1, and to that I'm going to add another slash n, and then semicolon. So when I do this, I don't need these lines. So Uh, so you can see, like, apart from writing all the code in three different lines, you can write the entire code in this line by using these slash n characters. Okay, so it automatically, uh, yes, I'll let you know. So this is the first string. Okay, and in this string, what I'm writing my this contains slash n tells the computer that you have to move to a new line. So slash n is part of text, so I have to put it inside inverted commas. So suppose I remove this, so, sorry, not this. Suppose I suppose I remove this and I remove this. So it will become exactly what I have written over here. Okay. So so that is why I have written over here, because I want to move to a new line. Okay. So why does it consider session as a string? Slash, and that's how Java works. That's how Python works. That's how C++ works. So that is a built-in command for moving to a new line. Okay. If you want to add this, uh, there are ways of doing that, but we will come across that once we are specifically working on strings. Okay, so we do not need to worry about that. Okay, so now so there are a few questions I'll explain. First of all, it's not forward slash. What we have written, Ata, is a forward slash. Forward slash. If you cannot decide what is a backslash and what is a forward slash, in forward slash is always leaning towards the front. ठीक है, जैसे कि एक आदमी खड़ा है आगे की तरफ झुक रहा है, तो ये इसे forward slash कहते हैं, और ये जो है इसको back slash कहते हैं. ये एक आदमी खड़े होकर पीछे की तरफ झुक रहा है. ठीक है. मोबाइल कीबोर्ड का मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता. आई थिंक यू हैव टू select the numbers, and then uh, you can select, like when you're typing on the mobile keyboard, you can select the numbers, and in the numbers it should be over there, or it should be in extra symbols. Okay, so let me check. So if you click on numbers, so there's a back, so then there is another option where the numbers is, and then that is where you can find the forward, sorry, backslash. Okay, so it's there, but you have to find it. um, Okay, so again, explaining what is happening in this string. First of all, I write my list contains, I write a slash n. So one dot space will come in the new line. And after one dot space, I am writing the first arguments. So it will write the first argument. Then I write another string which says slash n. So after writing this first argument, it will go into a new line. It will write two dot space. It will write the next argument. And after writing this argument, it will go again, it will go to a new line. So this is what is happening. So I save this and I compile this again. Uh, this session, once this session is recorded, I will it will be processed, and then I think Zoom automatically sends everyone the link to the recording, so I don't need to upload it anywhere. Okay. Otherwise, I will put it somewhere. Okay, so I write Java C hello.java. I compile it again, and then I write the same thing, Java hello cat dog, and you can see that I get the same output as I did before. Okay, even though right now I'm using one line. Okay, so this is how you can manipulate the strings, use the arguments, and use command line to write everything. You can further change this by using slash t over here, and slash, instead of space you write slash t. Slash t means a tab. So you will write, you go to a new line, you write one dot, and instead of space you will write slash t. Okay, so this will become a tab, and then it will work the same way. The only difference is that there will be more space over here because tab is normally 4 or 5 spaces. So I write Java C hello Java, and then I write Java hello cat dog. So now you can see like there is a tab and there's more space over here. I wrote slash n at the end so that I can move to a new line. Okay, you can see like there's a space over here. This space is over here because I moved to a new line. Okay, that's why I wrote it over here. If I remove this, then I will stay over here at this line. Okay, is that clear? All right, so this is for the lecture right now. We have spent about an hour, and you can start asking your questions. On is raising his hand. On, you can go ahead. Let me see participants. Unmute. Um, okay, now I think I have given you the option to ask the questions. I have given you the option. You can unmute yourself. So the first question is by Hamza. What is slash t for? Slash t is for tab. आपके कीबोर्ड पर टैब है ना? अगर आप चाहते हैं कंप्यूटर स्पेस की जगह ऑटोमेटिकली टैब डाल दे तो आप स्लैश टी लिखते हैं, ठीक है? तो हम स्लैश टी यहाँ पे लिखेंगे तो यू डोंट हैव टू पुट अ टैब, यू पुट अ स्पेस, इट विल automatically put a tab. So that's why it's showing it here. It has, previously it was a space, but now you have put in a tab, so it's moving ahead for about 5 lines and then it's printing cat. So that's why we have done that. Um, okay, so on is asking when will be you most likely in your third or fourth week. So second week will also have the CMD. Um, why did we choose a public class? This has to do with the inheritance, but that is another advanced concept. So just for the time, we just keep it public. So in the last tab, you didn't write cat or dog. So how come that I was given? I did write cat and dog over here. Java hello cat dog. So that's why it's giving me cat dog. You can see over here. Uh, void means so okay. So um, so what happens is that um, if I want to return a value, right? So if I want to uh, write return 1. Okay, so if I want this function to return a value, so then I'm saying that this function is going to return a 1. Now 1 is not a void value, it is an integer value. Okay, so you can see like as soon as I wrote an integer, it stopped giving me an error. If I write void, it's telling me like, okay, you are returning a value, but you are supposed to return nothing. Okay, so now I write return, which means like I'm returning nothing. Okay, so that's why this void works. So either I can just write return or I can just remove this statement and it means the same thing. Data type check, you will learn about it. And currently, you do not need to worry about it. As I said, that these things, I'm not explaining these things because these might confuse a few people, especially the people who are new to programming. So as we move forward, we will learn everything we have to know about these things. Okay. So for the time being, कहते हैं रट्टा लगा दो. Even though प्रोग्रामिंग इज नॉट अबाउट रटोफाइंग, बट फॉर द टाइम बीइंग इसका आप रट्टा ही लगा दें कि ये आपको लिखना ही लिखना है, ठीक है। आगे चल के ये सब चीज़ें आपको एक्सप्लेन कर देंगे। ओके सर, why are there no inverted commas in slash n? They are inverted commas. Uh, like over here, the inverted commas start from here, and then I go to a new line, and this. So this is part of the same string. I can do this something like this as well, but it serves no purpose. Okay, it serves no purpose because this is a string and this is a string. So I can easily join them together like this. Okay, so that's why there were no inverted commas over here. But this thing is a variable, it's which contains a string. So when you're talking about variables, so it does not let the variables, it does not know what the variable contains. The variable can be of string, can be an integer, can be a float, can be a double. So it does not know. So that's why we write a plus and then we write it something like this. Now if I write it something like this, so it stops being a variable, but it becomes a string itself. Okay, then it will write this instead of the value which was present in arg0. Okay, so that's why it will give you an error. Okay, great. Uh, any other questions? Um, फिजिकल क्लास कब लेंगे? ये सब डिपेंड करता है कि क्या सबके सब लोग फिजिकल क्लास में आने के लिए तैयार हैं. लाइक इफ ऑल 46 ऑफ यू आर विलिंग टू कम टू द क्लास, सिट क्लोज टू ईच अदर एंड टेक द क्लास, I won't mind if I have no issues if you guys मोस्ट की बात नहीं है. देखें, प्रॉब्लम ये है कि सपोज 45 पीपल कम और 46 पर्सन जो है वो कह रहा है कि नहीं मुझे नहीं आ रहा, मुझे कोरोना हो जाएगा, मैं नहीं आऊँगा, जो कि काफ़ी वैलिड कंसर्न है. ठीक है, ये कोई मजाक नहीं है, इट्स अ वैलिड कंसर्न. तो जो एक दो जो जो हैं जो कि नहीं आना चाहते, ठीक है, अ, वो कहेंगे कि हम नहीं आना चाहते और हम उनको फोर्स नहीं कर सकते. तो ऐसे में क्या होगा कि मुझे क्लास जो है मुझे वो करना पड़ेगी, मुझे हाइब्रिड क्लास लेनी पड़ेगी. कुछ लोग जो हैं वो ऑनलाइन ले रहे होंगे, कुछ लोग जो हैं वो फिजिकली ले रहे होंगे. अब उसमें इशू ये आ रहा है कि जैसे मैं बताया था कि मेरी हार्ड डिस्क जो है क्रैश कर गई है, तो मेरे पास अभी कोई लैपटॉप नहीं है, तो मैं हाइब्रिड क्लास ले नहीं सकता. तो फिर क्या होगा कि फिर मैं फिजिकल क्लास लूंगा और जो नहीं आएगा उसकी क्लास जो है मिस हो जाएगी. तो मैं what I can do is I can ask for a poll, and if everyone, ये नहीं majority, if everyone agrees to come, then I will start the regular classes. If everyone does not agree to that, then I cannot start the regular classes up until I have my laptop back. So if you who won't come, somebody is ready to come on campus. Yes. नहीं वो ठीक है ना. देखें, वी नीड टू रिस्पेक्ट अदर पीपल्स ओपिनियन. देखें, ये एक ऐसी चीज़ है जिसमें लोगों की जाने जा रही हैं. ठीक है, कोई जाने भी जाती हैं और uh, जाने नहीं जाती तो कोई ऑर्गन खराब हो जाता है. ठीक है, ये बीमारी ऐसी है. uh, मैं पोल कर लेता हूँ, लेकिन अगर पोल में मुझे पूरी नहीं मिली कि इफ ऑल ऑफ देम डू नॉट एग्री, देन आई कैन नॉट take online class. So I cannot take physical classes. ठीक है, so everybody needs to agree before we restart the physical classes. ठीक है, मैं फोर्स नहीं कर सकता किसी को. So I will take a poll and we have a week. Let's take a poll and अभी अगली क्लास आप इसी तरह करें, ऑनलाइन करें, लैब भी इसी तरह करें, लेकिन आगे चल के ना we will see like what the poll says, and then if everybody agrees to come to the class, we will start the physical classes. I have no issues. लैब 10 बजे है. Ashlan, you can ask question. You don't have to raise hand. लैब बंद ही है, आई एम नॉट देयर सो द लैब शुड बी क्लोज्ड। मतलब मैं तो आप लोगों को बताया था कि हाँ, आपको JDK 15 ये इंस्टॉल करनी होगी। फिर मैं आपको रिकमेंड करूँगा विजुअल स्टूडियो कोड भी आप इंस्टॉल कर लें। जी लैब भी रिकॉर्ड होगी, और अगर जस्ट इन केस आप लैब मिस कर लें और वो मिस कर लें तो मैं वैसे भी ऑनलाइन सेमी कॉलन यूज फॉर व्हाट पर्पस। सेमी कॉलन जो है प्रोग्रामिंग में ऐसा है जैसे कि आपका इंग्लिश फुल स्टॉप होता है, ठीक है। तो जब भी आप एक लाइन लिखते हैं प्रोग्रामिंग की, कंप्यूटर से कहते हैं हमारी लाइन खत्म हो गई है, तो वहां पे आप सेमी कॉलन डाल देते हैं, ठीक है। नहीं, ऑफ कोर्स माय लेक्चर 2 जो है वो वाला नहीं। जब आप क्लास पढ़ा रहे होते हैं आप किसी और तरीके से पढ़ाते हैं, जब आप चीज़ अपलोड करते हैं किसी और चीज़ से अपलोड करते हैं, क्योंकि इधर मुझे आपके चैट के मैसेज आ रहे थे ना, उस हिसाब से मैं अपनी क्लास को चेंज किया जा रहा था। अगर आप मेरा लेक्चर 2 देखेंगे तो इट विल बी वेरी डिफरेंट, इट विल बी वेरी स्मॉल। मैं 16 मिनट का है, लेकिन यहाँ पे मैंने पूरा 1 घंटा लगाया। ये तो यही वजह है कि जो एक्चुअल क्लास है ना, इट मीन्स अ लॉट, ठीक है। तो ऑनलाइन जो मैंने रखा है वो आप लोगों के बेनिफिट के लिए है कि जस्ट इन केस आप क्लास मिस कर लें। JDK 11 से भी काम चल जाना चाहिए वैसे। नया वर्जन इंस्टॉल कर लें तो दैट इज फाइन। People are asking if GRE should JRE should be installed. I don't think so, but it doesn't hurt। आप जहाँ बाकी चीज़ें इंस्टॉल करें वो भी कर लें। uh, आपका दिल चाहे आप अटेंड कर लें, मुझे कोई इशू नहीं है। अटेंडेंस हो नहीं रही ना, और जूम तो बखैर 100 के करीब स्टूडेंट्स सपोर्ट करती है, तो दे विल गेट द सेम लैब, सो इफ यू वांट टू यू कैन। सर यूज डॉट इन द मिडल, नहीं देखें, डॉट मैंने कहीं इस्तेमाल नहीं किया। ये डॉट जो है ये एक स्ट्रिंग का हिस्सा है। जब डॉट स्ट्रिंग का हिस्सा होता है ना, तो जो कंप्यूटर है इसको इग्नोर करता है, वो इस पूरे स्ट्रिंग को कंसिडर करता है। लेकिन जैसा यहाँ पे है, अगर मैं यहाँ पे आर्ग्स डॉट कर दूं, नाउ इट मीन समथिंग एल्स, ठीक है। तो आप देखें वो इतने ऑप्शंस भी दे रहे हैं, तो यहाँ पे डॉट का मतलब फर्क है। तो यहाँ पे इसका मतलब लाइन खत्म होना नहीं है, डॉट किसी और काम के लिए इस्तेमाल हो रहा है। वो आगे चल के आपको पता चलेगा। अ, शायद किसी अगले कोर्स में आप पढ़ें कोई और लैंग्वेज। अभी के लिए तो इस कोर्स में तो आप जावा ही करेंगे। अगर आप लीव करना चाहते हैं कर लें, किसी कोई रोक टोक नहीं है। I have to close this anyway because I have to start the new session, the lab session. Okay. और लैब में मैं आपको एक्सप्लेन करूंगा लैब क्या करनी आप ही लोगों ने है। ओके, अल्लाह हाफिज। यस, एट 10 a.m. अगर मेरी बिजली नहीं गई तो वरना मैं आपको लैब दे के हम आगे चल पड़ेंगे। ओके, अल्लाह हाफिज।